The Last of Us 2 is showing to bring us a brand new experience with great story as well as new characters that we've already seen from trailers and different reveal gameplay segments. However, one brand new character that was revealed in Last of Us 2 that has a lot more than meets the eye in terms of her lineage and her overall meaning to the story as well is Dina. So I figured let's just go over Dina and what we can kind of pick out and what we can kind of deter and what has been said about Dina as a character in Last of Us Part 2. So what is going on, guys? It is your boy Tickety here, and today we're going to talk about the character around Dina in The Last of Us Part 2. Now this video is kind of a part 2 to my last video that we did on Last of Us Part 2 where, wow, that is a mouthful, where we went over the Dina bracelet theory that I, kind of found and stuff like that and was reading up on Reddit and everything. I just wanted to make a video about that whole theory about her bracelet. Originally we see Dina wearing that bracelet and then we see Ellie wearing that bracelet later on in the trailer, so that leads us to believe of some assumptions that could possibly be the plot of The Last of Us Part 2, but I digress. Check out that video. Definitely going to add a lot of context onto this video moving forward. And so I actually found a interview that was with Neil Druckmann, of course, the creative director at Naughty Dog, and he was talking about and just asking some questions and stuff like that, answering some questions about the whole gameplay segment that we have here in front of us today that we got at E3 2018. And those with Neil as well kind of discovered the whole bracelet thing way back during they first showed the trailer and everything, and so they were asking questions about the bracelet, whatever, and then one fan actually pointed out that it is a Hamsa. And now you're asking yourselves, did I exactly look up that word and make sure that the H was pronounced other than silent, like not in Spanish? Yes, I did. I did look up the word Hamsa to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. You're welcome. But beside the point, it is confirmed, that this bracelet is featuring a Hamsa that is very reflective of a lot of things in terms of what it stands for in the Jewish tradition of the religion. And so what it says here is that Druckmann is referencing his Israeli roots with this, a ubiquitous symbol in the Middle East that often appears on jewelry and household items. It symbolizes the hand of G-O-D, God. They don't say the word God, but G-O-D, a sign of protection, luck, and fortune, etc., wards away evil. Like you'd hang a Hamsa charm on your front door to keep away from negative energy, wear a Hamsa charm on a necklace or keychain for good luck, and a lot of drivers that have Hamsa charms on their rearview mirrors for protection. And then Neil also went on to talk about, how he feels about the diversity and stuff like that, and why they made it kind of a main focal point in the design of Last of Us Part 2. He says, quote, "So I was like, well, it's rare to see a Jewish character in a video game, and for her to own that. I have a little bit of Middle Eastern descent, so why not throw it in there? It doesn't need to be front and center the whole time, but it's just one more thing." And so honestly, of course, with Naughty Dog representing the LGBTQ, with kind of having Ellie and Dina kiss, and then back in the DLC for Last of Us 1, Ellie also shares a kiss with her friend that I totally forgot, Riley? Yes, people, I can confirm her name is Riley. I have actually not yet played that DLC. I want to soon, maybe a little bit more closer to Last of Us 2, but I definitely want to play that Left Behind DLC. Definitely seems like a good one. But yeah, in that same side game DLC as well, they also represented LGBTQ with Ellie, of course, sharing a kiss with Riley as well. And so I think overall they are sharing it with Ellie because of course we can all assume here that Ellie is of course lesbian in that sense, so that is really cool as well. And I just think it's really cool that they are putting this diversity up front, and having these different traditions and different cultures be kind of seen and represented and stuff like that, because I think it's really cool. Because if you have a little gamer here, like let's say it's homeboy, let's say he's 13, 15, whatever, and Jewish characters aren't really that prevalent in games. I'm sure there are examples of them in gaming, but to have one at one of the greatest games that will come out arguably whenever it comes out, whatever year it is for Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2 is surely going to be a banger, right? So it's really cool to have some representation of your tradition and culture and religion in one of the biggest games of that said year, and from Naughty Dog, a well-renowned studio, stuff like that, with Last of Us being a insanely big IP. So really cool to have that there as well. I believe so, in my opinion. And also a lot has to be said for when he said that it doesn't need to be front and center the whole time, but it's just one more thing. So I kind of like that as well, where they like aren't making Dina have her whole characterization, like her whole identity, be the Jewish character or be the one with the Israeli roots, for example. Like, it's not that it really defines her, it's just a part of her, you know. It's just like a little part that, you know, I'm sure they're not even going to disclose in the game. Maybe they will. Maybe like there might be some section where, you know, Dina is teaching Ellie about something that maybe she learned from her parents back when you know, the outbreak wasn't a thing back in the world and the world was normal and stuff like that. Maybe, you know, she tells Ellie some scripture or something like that, or says, you know, something, or explains to Hamsa, for example. But you know, I'm sure it's not going to be like her main focal point of her character, like you know what I'm saying, like where like we won't have a kind of archetype or like a stereotype in Dina in terms of Israeli roots and Jewish tradition as well. Like, I feel like they're going to be just, you know, a little bit low key on it. Maybe they might mention it here and there once in the game, like I said before, but I do like how they aren't kind of making it like, you know, the Jewish character, like sometimes in video games where we have like the Hispanic character in the game where they are, you know, kind of solely just to be the Hispanic, you know, kind of laughing stock, for example. Not really like laughing stock, but be kind of the like humorous relief in that sense. Or we have the black character that is just being the stereotypical black character in the game, you know what I'm saying? So I like how it looks like they aren't taking that route in that sense, and they're really kind of just, you know, melding some things in, you know, and not making it, you know, the main focal point, not out of like spite or shame, but out of just kind of respect and stuff like that. So really do enjoy that aspect of it as well. And also, one more thing Druckmann kind of pointed out that will kind of wrap this video is that, you know, of course, when you look at Neil, you know, in pictures and stuff like that, I'll have one here on screen, his hair is definitely thick and curly and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And he says that getting Dina's hair to look somewhat similar to his in that sense was very hard for the lighting team and the animators in the studio. They had a lot of difficulties making that work, but he said that, like, it has to work. He said it had to look good, it had to be representative of how it would actually look in real life in terms of lighting and stuff like that, in terms of the hair and how they both, you know, bounce off each other and stuff like that, and how it reflects and everything and glares and all that. And so you know, he says that, you know, the frizzy curly hair was very hard to deal with in the game, because of course in real life he says it's hard as well to deal with his hair being of a Israeli descent and stuff like that. And so it was very hard to get the lighting right in the video game for the hair to look as, you know, real as possible and stuff like that. But he said that the team worked tirelessly to do it because they know getting these seemingly small details of representation would matter. And he also ended that sentiment by saying, it's the differences we have, or the imperfections we have, that make us human, and all that better reflects the world we live in, and ultimately better immerses you in the story we have to tell. And so honestly, I cannot agree with him more. Like, there is a lot that has to do with the detail in the game to make it a little bit more better. Like, honestly, I even, you know, pointed out during my first viewing of the E3 trailer of Last of Us 2 that you know, we could see the hair reflections and stuff like that, and the way the skin reacts to Ellie and her kissing and stuff like that. And overall, like, it is super detailed, and it really does bring a level of quality that is truly unmatched, and something that, you know, far, you know, devs should do and a lot don't, and Naughty Dog does in, you know, contrast. It is super incredible what they've done here with this game and how detailed it is, in my opinion. And honestly, that hair is crazy. My sisters have super thick curly hair, and so I cannot even, you know, fathom how hard that would be to actually do in a, you know, game engine and stuff like that and make that work. But it looks like Naughty Dog has, and obviously, you know, hers is not, you know, tight and curly like my sister's, but it is, you know, super thick and stuff like that, and frizzy and everything. And so it is really cool to see that they were able to pull it off. Because honestly, like, this is, you know, straight up talk here. If there were a game that come out from a, you know, well-renowned studio like Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, whatever, Guerrilla Games, whatever studio you want to bring me, right? If they were like, hey, listen, we want to put a Dominican in our game, like, yo, I would give them the facts. I would let them know exactly what to do. Make sure he wakes up in the morning, makes some mango, tostones, plátanos, you know what I'm saying, the fried egg, the onion on top, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying, making sure they have some arroz con dules at the end, you know, some penin, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I'm insane. But that is about it in terms of Dina and Last of Us 2, at least what we know so far about her character and everything, and her different ethnic backgrounds, and the meaning of the Hamsa and the bracelet and everything. But make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments below about all this stuff. What do you guys think about Naughty Dog representing, you know, different type of religions, stuff like that? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hopefully you are for it. If not, I would still love to hear your opinion. If you are not for it, that'd be really cool as well, down in the comments below. But make sure also, while you are down there, to check out our description where you can find the Instagram and Twitter. Follow us on there. And we should also hit up our Discord. We have a link down in the description where you can check out our Discord server. We're definitely trying up there, having a good time. So make sure to go check out that Discord link and go chat with us, me, Christian, some fans as well. Definitely a fun time there on a nightly basis. So make sure to definitely go check out that, for your enjoyment of Discord and stuff like that. And thank you all for watching. And as always, greatness awaits.